liberty, and justice for all.
Hold on, stand by. I didn't get you guys started yet. That was just the Zoom recording.
We'll do it again.
All right, great. You guys are being recorded. You're streaming to YouTube. You may begin. Phone lines are also open.
You opened the meeting already?
Yeah. Yep.
Right, so we're up to news of the schools. Dr. Soriano, you're right there. So,
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. So, clubs started yesterday, and we have 18 of them. So every child should be in a club or more, as we've said. Those purple forms went home, and we have two brand new clubs this year, the hockey club, which is non-playing. However, we have 3 very creative women faculty members who stood up to be advisors, and they're going to share that. So we'll see. I'll let you know after a couple months. And then we also have a brand new club, which is something new we're trying, that's going to meet on a Saturday. I sent a note out to the parents. It's called Do Good, Be Good. And I was able to secure a $15,000 donation to the school district. So the check will be coming soon to pay the advisor. And they're going to meet on alternating Saturdays for about 3 hours. And David Cataletto stepped forward as the advisor. And it's going to be, because service learning and community service is a requirement at the high school, we thought it would be nice to have something where, even though we model service projects in our building through our Thanksgiving Give Back and our surf riders and our student government, this would be something for students that had time and were interested, could dig a little deeper. So they may apprentice themselves to some local organizations like the Food Pantry or LVIS, and David Cataletto will be responsible for coming up with those experiences. And then it's one of those, if you build it, they will come. And if they come, great. And we can probably get this outside funding for a couple of years. And if the board wants to pick it up, also great. But certainly there's no obligation. And if it fizzles after a year, we know we'll try something else. But I think it's really, this one's going to be interesting. And I have a feeling we're going to get a bunch of kids because it's Saturday, alternating Saturdays, 3 hours, 9 to 12.
Great.
And parents are just, we don't provide transportation. Parents will be responsible for dropping their kids off and picking them up at the end. But I think it has a lot of great potential.
So terrific. From 6 to 8 or 8th graders or just?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Any child who wants to participate. And if we have, we started Cooking Club this way, which ended up being very popular, but it was so popular that we couldn't run it every week with the same kids because so many students wanted to do it. So we wound up doing A groups and B groups, and they just meet in an alternating fashion. So David and I had talked about the possibility that he could have 40 kids, and obviously it would not be safe or appropriate for him to be supervising that number of students. So if that's the case, we'll just do the same thing.
Right.
We'll alternate, and if we find out that it continues to have legs, we'll just get more funding and run more sections. So that's something, again, I'll update you in the future, but we'll see. We're calling it, it's Do Good, Be Good, but we're calling it DGBG for a little verbal excitement.
It was
DGBG.
very difficult. I remember in middle school finding community service for them because everything was geared more towards the older kids. So there were only a limited number of organizations that would take the middle schoolers. So I think that, you're really onto something there.
Bingo, that's why we did it. So this came up on PTA and our site-based, exactly what Christina said.
Yeah.
It's so hard because groups are taking high school kids who are
Right.
doing it for their requirement, but middle school kids, you can't just say, okay, go out and do
Right.
weed the garden because someone has to be there supervising.
Right.
So that's where this came about. And as I said, a local donor came forward, and $15,000 is a great stipend
Right.
to pay someone for the year. But it is 3 hours alternating Saturday. So will be a lot of work.
Yeah.
LTV is also looking for volunteers consistently for things that might work for middle schoolers, like
Okay.
taking tickets and things like that and setting up chairs. Maybe call Michael Clark and
Okay.
see if he'll take middle school age,
Great. more to come. And then on this coming Monday, after the Rosh Hashanah break, we have the Hamptons Film Festival will be in our building for all grades. We used to do 7th and 8th grade, but we've expanded it. And we're making sure that the films obviously are appropriate to all of the grades. All the students will be assembled for 1 hour in the morning, and they're seeing films from the United Nations made by kids their age all over the world. And some of the films are in other languages, but they're subtitled. And then at the end, the really cool part about this is the students that worked with Rita Green and Karen Nelson and Amanda McKelvey, their films, they picked 3 films from last year's 7th grade who are current 8th graders. So they're going to see their films appear at the end, and it's on the film festival equipment. So it's different than our screen, our sound system. It is a professional screen, professional sound system, and it's really meaningful and a nice connection to this festival. And then, each of the grades that are there has stakes, because the 6th graders will be doing this as 7th graders. The 7th graders will be doing it within a couple of weeks. They kick off the unit in 7th grade, which is about a month long. And then the 8th graders would have done it. And then they're seeing their peers being recognized with these few top films, according to the teachers. So it's a really nice way to celebrate the festival and for the kids to be involved in the film arts. There are a lot of careers, obviously, there and things they could be looking at for the future. And then just the final item we have our book fair coming up in mid-October. And I told you last spring that has undergone some renovations, actually an overhaul. We were able to successfully get rid of Scholastic because they had it's been disappointing with some of the titles they've given us and the quality of the books. So the PTA and Site-Based had devised using Bookhampton, and that went really well. So now they're replicating that. They all felt like if we went back to Scholastic, it would be taking a step back, and we don't want to do that. So for this fall book fair, we're again going, or the PTA is going to collaborate with Bookhampton, and they're going to fund 1 book for every child, regardless of need, so they'll be able to pick a high-quality book from Bookhampton, and then parents who want to send their kids with money to say you can buy other things or buy more, they can do that. And Bookhampton has agreed to donate 20% of that back to the PTA, which is really fabulous.
That's terrific.
Thank you, Joe.
Any questions at all? Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Going on, a lot of moving parts.
Karen?
Hi, good evening. I'd like to start by thanking our school resource officers who presented at today's faculty meeting. On a yearly basis, we collaborate with the Village Police Department and our SRO team, who presents an overview on all of our safety plans. And they really put a lot of time and effort into it. So I just wanted to say thank you, how important preparedness is, and that collaboration that we have with our SROs is really very valuable, and we're grateful for that. John Marshall has been invited to be part of the homecoming parade. Thank you for reaching out for that invitation. I've asked our Wellness Club to represent John Marshall. The Wellness Club is run by Anne-Marie Brown and Melissa Edwards. They're having their first meeting this coming Monday, so the students may not even be aware yet that they are being asked to participate, and they're very much looking forward to being part of the celebration. So thank you for that, and I know the advisors are already very excited for that. And then lastly, we are working with the East Hampton Fire Department. October has Fire Prevention Week. And on October 15th, the East Hampton Fire Department will station, as they did last year, in long-term parking. And our students will be able to not only have a fire safety lesson, but take a close look at the fire trucks and get to speak to some of our brave men and women who help support our community. And a special thank you to Christy Everhart, who really has been the liaison between the school and the fire department and helping to make that happen.
Yeah, that's great. I remember seeing that last year. The kids were so excited.
I'm looking forward to it again too. And, important information for them to have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sarah?
Good evening, everybody. So Charlie kept mentioning his PTA, and I'm thrilled to tell you that after 2 years in the making, last night we had our PTSA, the S is for Student Association Charter Meeting. And we are officially a PTSA. So it was, I think it's easier to get into the FBI than to establish a PTSA. But it was fantastic. We had, as you all know, a group of parents approached me about a year and a half ago with the idea wanting to support all the initiatives that we have in the school. We did our pre-charter meeting last year. Last night, we had 86 charter members, faculty, staff, faculty, parents, students, and then family members. And we had 50 people on the meeting last night. So it was an outstanding start. Hopefully we'll be able to keep that momentum going. And as we know, just any way to improve and build on that school to home connection is really the purpose and our goal with the PTSA. So,
Can you tell us what you talked about?
well, you know what? Because
We have to go to the meeting.
no, it's not confidential. I can tell you, but the particulars of establishing the PTSA are quite detailed. So we wanted to get through that in our first charter meeting, because the folks from the Suffolk County PTA were joining us to lead us through that process. So then next week, we will be meeting to talk, what they can do to support homecoming, how they can spread the word with our guest author who's coming November 7th, and they have some ideas of things they would like to ways they would like to contribute to student life. So more to come on that. Last night was sort of just the business side of it.
It's the reorganization meeting.
It was yes, nice analogy. It was the reorg of PTSA, or the org, I guess. So that's super exciting. I will keep you posted on what I'm sure will be the many ways that they're contributing to student life. So
Great.
speaking of student life, we have our college fair on October 15th. And we have a vast and diverse list of colleges, from technical schools to SUNY schools to Ivies. Students will be able to go, all grades 9 through 12 will be able to go during lunch, study hall. A lot of teachers take their classes down those days because they know, some students don't have lunch, some students are coming back from BOCES. So we try to scaffold it so that all students have access to it, just to open up doors and see what's out there and, keep those college and career conversations going. So again, that's October 15th. And thank you to Lynn Brown and our guidance department for organizing all that. Speaking of organization, our PSAT day is October 16th, the next day, the busy week. And our 10th and 11th grade students will be taking the PSAT. Again, that's digitally this year. We're seriously hoping they have increased their bandwidth so that it doesn't interfere with testing. But our seniors will do their photo and their breakfast. And then we're very excited. We have a special and somewhat new presentation for our 9th graders. They will be doing activities with Kim Laube from Hugs of West Hampton. We're bringing her in to talk with them about building strong identities, decision-making, making positive connections with their friends. So a little bit of a different approach with our 9th grade, because we think that would be an age-appropriate conversation with them. So we're looking forward to it.
So I got a question.
Yes, sir.
BOCES kids, how many BOCES kids travel out of the district up to West Hampton to be, Riverhead?
Oh, my goodness.
It's 40 something. How many do we pay for? 40 something?
It's one bus, I can tell you that. So,
Is it less because we have the,
for sure. So, we're at 30, nearly 30, actually 25 in our auto program. Similar numbers in culinary. So you could say all of those
Right.
students would have gone
right,
to,
Or because, yeah, or they,
or wouldn't,
wouldn't.
because, yes,
Because-
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So certainly we're servicing a lot of those students here.
They go further than West Hampton.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Isolate.
Belfort.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They give a few
Yes, of course.
different bus runs, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you got for us, Ms. Masterson? Always bringing.
go Bonnet.
Go Monarchies, right. last week, we were given the highest distinction a school district can be given by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. That was East Hampton is a school of distinction.
Yes.
So this is what we were presented with. So I'll present it to you, Madam Vice President.
There you go.
Is that for a particular sport?
It's for every
Every-
varsity sport. It's a New York State scholar athlete team.
Wow.
Yes, so every single one of our teams last year received that recognition. It is the highest honor that NISBA gives out. So I'm extremely proud of our programs.
Amazing.
Huge.
Fall sports are off to a great start. Homecoming's coming together. We are collaborating with the village. It's been awesome. We met with the village board last week, myself and Mike Pequicchio, to present to them. It was awesome. So pray for a little bit more rain, just so that grass grows a little bit more.
But not on the 19th.
And not on the 19th, please. Whatever gods we have upstairs, please ask for a sunny, beautiful day.
Yes.
All right? Thanks, guys.
Wait, I'm sorry.
No.
What time does everything start? When's the parade and when's the?
9 a.m. is the Hall of Fame breakfast. 10 a.m. the induction will start. The parade will kick off here at 11 a.m.
Starts here, goes to.
Goes right to
You're
Herrick
gonna
Park.
do the induction
11
in
a.m.
an hour?
You watch me.
Festival and-
Yeah.
Jim and Nicoletti goes
Well,
first.
people I know.
Only have 3 people.
Yep. The
Yep.
team, and then we have two individuals.
So
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 Jim.
9 breakfast, 10 induction, 11 parade to Herrick Park
Yep,
from
and
here.
it's great because the parade kicks off right here.
Perfect.
So there, we're gonna be in front, take your pictures, get out. And I said, if you want to, we're not forcing you to be involved with the parade, but I think everybody wants to get involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
It's gonna be a really fun event, so I hope you guys can make it.
And then the game.
M&Rs will be catering and it's gonna be delicious like it was last year.
Is the game?
1 p.m.
1 o'clock.
So it will give the festival a good hour and a half to get going, and then the game and the festival will continue. Food trucks, games, a bouncy house for the kids. Yeah,
Vendors.
obviously, hopefully, a lot of people to spend some money in our beautiful village.
And a lot of our clubs will have
Yep.
booths as well, so
Oh, good.
fundraisers for
A
the.
lot of kids are gonna march.
Yes, yep,
And we're
Uh,
building a float right now. We're
we're working
working
on the float. Keep it posted.
Sarah and I will be banging nails.
Thank you.
All right,
Exciting.
public comment. Do we have any callers? LTV?
We have no callers.
Surprise them.
And we have no audience. So moving on to consent agenda. Can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as written and placed on?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Superintendent's report and recommendations. Recommended that the board approve the amended instructional appointment of Elizabeth Morse to the position of a Students with Disabilities grade 7 to 12 teaching position for the 2024 to 25 school year. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
That's just an amendment she started, yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board approve the instructional appointment of Edward McGinty to the position of a secondary special education teacher, leave replacement.
Is this the last board meeting?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is you're the wrong board meeting.
Hold on, we're gonna do a switch real quick.
That was, previous board meeting.
It's 6 minutes.
First one was contract agreements.
Yeah, that's,
Yes. 6.01 contract.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Okay. There you go. Recommended that the board approve budget transfers for the 2024 to 25 school year. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second? Second.
that's a bit different.
It was 6.
There you go.
Yeah.
6.1 contract agreements.
Budget transfers.
Yeah,
6.5.
contract.
6.1.
6.1 is contract.
Yeah. Okay. So why did you, it's weird, you had it highlighted 6 months, then it went somewhere else.
Hi, Colin.
Oh. Well,
Everybody will have paper next meeting, that's.
There's some right here. Do you want these?
Recommended that the board approve the following contract agreements for the 2024 to 25 school year. These?
No, they're all set.
There's 4.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board approve the following license terms for the 2024 to 25 school year. Resolved that the Board of Education of the East Hampton Union Free School District hereby approves agreement to license terms for contracts between Eastern Suffolk BOCES and number of firms.
These are all our contracts we have with technology.
Excellent. What's wrong? Your thing is different. All in favor?
Make a,
Make a motion.
I make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board approve the ES insurance and indemnification agreement for the 24 to 25 school year. Can I have a
Make a
motion?
motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Does anybody want to say anything?
Sam, what do you want to say what this is?
There's something in insurance called risk transfer. So when we hire a company that's bid through the BOCES contract, BOCES shared services contract, there's a notion of risk transfer for when that company does work here. This makes it clear that the risk transfers to the insurance company of the contract.
All in favor, so it's done. Yep. Recommended that the board approve the local revenues and tax levies for the 2024 to 25 school year. And I have a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Sam,
And you,
you want to explain what's going on?
This is the setting the tax levy. That was exactly what was for the voters were informed of when the budget was approved in May. Also, the voters approved the library budget last month, and that sets the levy to the tax to be collected from taxpayers to that as well. It also makes note of the fact that we are using several of our reserves as a revenue source. This is all matched up exactly what the voters were told when they approved the budget.
all in favor?
Aye.
And that was quick. So old business,
We got budget there. 605. Like,
no, it's different than mine. Recommended that the board approve budget transfers for the 24 to 25 school year. I have a motion.
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then old business. You gonna have any old business or? New business, student board members?
yes, so I just wanted to inform the Board of Education. The governor just signed into law that each school district has to develop policies and procedures for having a student member of their Board of Education. The student member is a non-voting member of the Board of Education, does not attend the executive session, but should be at every one of the Board of Education's meetings. Florence, did I cover everything?
The only thing you need to cover is that the board will make some policies with regard to that. And the person who was selected has to have at least 1 year in high school experience in East Hampton High School. So,
So we will work on a policy and procedures. The Sam and the policy committee will work on that to get that
I
done.
think that's a good step.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should have it in play. It will be in place by next year. It shouldn't be that difficult.
Any other new business? Public comments.
We have no callers.
Thank you. So then just a motion to adjourn. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move, we move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Thank you.
Go Mets.